Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to week 5 of our little remote learning experience. Uh, it's hard to believe 5 weeks have already passed. Well, 4 weeks have passed, and we're on week 5. We're already past halfway through April, so we're cruising. So here we go. Let's get to work. I wanted to show you some things before I show you this week's assignment, just in case you forgot. So when you're in Google Classroom, if you go to classwork, things are organized a little bit differently. I'm going to move this up to the top. So this is where you can see everything is organized into weeks since we started the remote learning. So if you need to double check that something is done and turned in or whatnot, this would be, instead of scrolling through stuff in the stream, this would be a better way to find it. Also, like if you're making up stuff from before the break, so like the weather and climate test, if you come here to weather, it's easier to find the weather maps gizmo and the weather and climate test, retake test. So yeah, I just wanted to show you to use this classwork tab. Also at the top here under class resources, here's the test retake form and also the science textbook. So if you want to just do some review or read something, you can click here. So this week's assignment, remote learning week 5. There are two things to do. The first one, you're going to click on this. It says Pear Deck. I don't know why it looks like that, but when you click on it, so here's how it's going to go. You're going to click on that and open it up. It should open up the Pear Deck thing. It'll look like this. Click on how you're feeling today. I'm feeling so great. Or you can skip it. And then it begins. And since I was already in this, it didn't begin at the beginning. So let me go back. So here's the first page. So you can see down here, let me get rid of this. You can just click to the next slide using these arrows. So just go through this, read the instructions. So this next unit, part of our unit on ecosystems, is to look at humans' effects on ecosystems, how they are stable or how they change. If you remember, the cross-cutting concept is stability and change in ecosystems. So we've been kind of studying them, looking at them. We've learned about energy and matter flowing through them. We're going to look at now kind of how things might change their stability and what could happen either because of humans, negative or positive. And so we're going to start with some negative effects. And so these are pictures of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. It's a big, what would you call it? Like there's a place where they get oil out in the ocean, drilling down into the bottom of the ocean to get oil, and something broke and just spilled tons of oil out. And so you can see some of the effects in these pictures. So here you're just going to type what it says right here. How would an oil spill affect a marine ecosystem? So you'll type your answer in there, using the pictures, using what you think, type in. Remember to use complete sentences and try to be very detailed and specific. Don't be lazy. Don't type in something real quick just to get it done. That's kind of a waste of time. Take your time to do it well and think about it, and that will help. Once you type in your answer, you can go to the next slide. An oil spill is an example of an oil change that can happen. So just read through this stuff. Again, we're going to be talking about changes that some are natural changes. So like a hurricane would be a natural change to an ecosystem that can cause stability issues and changes in a negative or positive way. Sometimes there's positive changes naturally or also from humans, from us. So here's a video you'll watch. And I do want to say, like, this isn't really broken up into days, but you can break it up over a few days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or you can just go through this whole thing on Monday. It's up to you. If you are just doing it by day, I'd probably watch this video and then go on to the next slide. So you'll watch this video about changes that happened to New York City, something you might have not known. What did New York City look like before all of the development that humans did, all the buildings, all the skyscrapers, and the huge city that it is now? What do you think it looked like before that? Was it just a barren wasteland? Was it a giant forest full of trees? That's something, it'll be interesting. It's kind of interesting to see the changes that have happened and think about that. How has the environment and the ecosystems around us changed? And then the next thing, there's another video. This guy's kind of popular for making videos about stuff. This is the one that the National Geographic decided they liked because he's talking about humans' impact on the environment, mostly negative things. There's a little bit of a positive message to it, but again, this is one person's view and opinion of how we've affected things, and there are negative effects definitely that humans have had. So you'll watch that video and then again answer the question right here: what are some negative impacts humans have on the environment? You can use evidence from the video, or you can use your own things that you can see around you, observe, or that you've seen or read or talked about with others. So again, complete sentences. Try to type out using complete sentences. Use the races thing that you learned in language arts. So you might start by saying some negative impacts humans have on the environment are, right? Dot. And you'll type in your answers. And then you just move on. And so after this, this might be for Wednesday. You might just do that video and type that in for Tuesday. The next thing on Wednesday, we're going to look specifically at one major problem, effect that we have had on the ocean, since we've kind of been looking at ocean ecosystems. Plastics is a major issue. And so this will give you the rest of the pages on this little slideshow will give you some information about plastic pollution and how it affects us and the ocean, why we should care about it. And then, so then it gets to your assignment. So this is the first part of your assignment, just doing this Pear Deck slide. So here's the main assignment. You're going to create a Google slide presentation about an environmental problem and a possible solution to that problem. We have the template, so we'll go back and look on Google Classroom. There is a template that you'll use, so you don't have to create your own slideshow. You'll just open that one up and use it. You can change it if you want, but so let's look at the problems that you can choose from. And you might find something else, but plastic is a problem you can use. Overfishing, deforestation, any of these. Invasive species is a big one. You could look at specific ones around us, like the quagga mussels in like Lake Powell and the lakes in Utah. Oil spills or other pollution spills that I know there's some in, I think the Red Butte Creek in Utah is one that something spilled into the waterways. Nuclear waste, overpopulation, hunting. So these are some examples of issues. You can do some research and find others closer to home. And I know invasive species is a big one. There's a lot around here. We kind of talked about it in class, I think, before we left, like the tamarisk plants. What are they called? Salt cedars by the Virgin River and a lot of waterways. That's a major one you could talk about. The quagga mussels, goldfish, people putting goldfish in the local ponds. That's an example. So you're going to choose something. That's the hardest part, probably, is just for you to choose what your issue is going to be that you're going to do a little bit of research on. And that's it for this slideshow. So I'll make a different video, but this is pretty much Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Finish it up for sure so you can start on your presentation. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, ask your teachers, which I guess is me. Email me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next.